Audio is going. Okay, we are live.
Yes, hello! This is Klonoa, and due to our generous donator, Cat, we are playing with the Moo Impersonator costume.
Ah, very
Uh,
fun, very fun.
yes. I think there's even more costumes here, however, I'm pretty sure that requires me to get, like, all of the, gems in the stages.
Okay, I'm just quickly gonna edit one thing, which is I'm going to move this down a touch, and then lock that in, and then transition it. There we go.
It might
Okay,
be better
perfect.
just for me to start a new game, because I don't think it shows off the...
Yeah, sure. Oh, okay. No, I'm actually gonna need to resize this window a little bit. Okay, and...
Is it not allowing me to do that? Okay. All right, I have to go to the new game. That's why.
There we go. I think
All
that
right,
should
I
be-
have the hard version now too.
I might transition a few times just to get the absolute right thing in terms of the screen size, so just keep that in
Yes.
mind while watching in chat. If the
Yes.
transition's happening, that's just because I am resizing the window ever so slightly, just so it doesn't crop too much out.
Maybe another time. I've played Klonoa a lot and I love it. However, one, that was with the PS1 version. And two, really on hard mode. If I wanted the stream to end on a reasonable time,
Yeah, that's good.
I will have to do normal.
Alrighty, well. I am only kind of tangentially familiar with Klonoa. I think I've seen some people do videos on it, and I remember seeing ads for it in Archie comics, because I used to read a bunch of Archie comics, and I got them secondhand. And so even though it wasn't, let's say, a contemporary game when I was a kid, I saw a lot of marketing for it.
Yes. I never really saw any of that. Like, even for the Wii remake, I barely saw, like, any advertisements for Klonoa for the Wii version. I can't even remember how I became aware of this game. Because I definitely remember watching videos on it years ago from, like, content creators I remember liking at the time and stuff. But I think I remember hearing or watching, like, a Let's Play of it even earlier of the Wii version.
Oh yeah?
Yes. And because of the new collection that came out only a few days ago, I thought it would be great to play the first one here for
Is this
today.
on the new collection?
This is the one, the new collection, yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. The original plan was to play the PS1 version. However, I was stupid and didn't realize that the collection also came out on Steam the same day as the Switch version.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yes.
For a second there, I thought when you were saying the Switch version, you were saying DS, and I was like, wait, hang on a minute. They released this for the DS? What's going on?
No. Yeah, it's something.
No, this is definitely not on the DS.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the PS1 version, the original, which was where a lot of the characters were sprite-based on 3D planes.
It had a very distinctive visual style. I don't know if it's, I don't want to say it's aged poorly, but the fidelity of it is definitely of its time. It kind of reminds me of the way DKC looks in that way.
Definitely. It's definitely done in a very similar way, except with, like, actual, like, 3D environments and stuff.
Yeah.
I really like the style, but it's definitely a little dated, for lack of a better term.
Definitely. It still looks good, though. The art direction definitely carries it a lot. It's got a very distinctive kind of, I guess, whimsical look to it.
Yeah, it has a very distinct look that really could only work with that style, because when they did the remake, if you looked at the models for the Wii version, They
Not
look
so good?
very uncanny, for lack of a
Ah,
better term.
interesting. Did you reckon this remake does a better job of avoiding that?
Oh, without a doubt. Like, all of the models look very different.
Oh yeah?
Yes. Like, in the Wii version, Klonoa is just much taller.
Oh, that does sound like it would be really weird.
Yes. And, other characters that, due to spoiler reasons I won't say much about, of course, have either become more human-shaped in terms of proportions. Uh, some look alright, and some not so much.
So, just for someone like me that's a little bit uneducated on Klonoa, what are the collectibles and stuff that you're engaging with? Because it looks like there was like a little tile thing that you picked up, there's all these crystals around, there was that piece of heart thing almost.
So the crystal things are the equivalent of coins.
Okay.
Collect 100, you gain a life. Those things up there are they house citizens that have been captured. There's 6 in every stage.
Oh,
If you
so
collect
that's what the
all
counter
of
under the
them,
life bar is then?
yeah.
Ah, okay.
If you collect all of them, you gain access to the extra vision, which is an extra level that is actually related to this little cutscene here.
Oh, cool.
And as you've seen there, I was able to collect enemies and essentially use them as a double jump of sorts, or
Yeah.
enhance sorts. That's essentially the main mechanic of the game, and this game gets a lot of use and wiggle room out of it. It's insane just the amount of stuff that you can do just with something as simple as that, and Klonoa does it extremely well.
Yeah, I was about to say, this game, I haven't played Kirby 64 before, but there's a kind of a little parallel in terms of kind of a little bit of visual style and the idea of, playing with enemies as a central mechanic.
Yes, of course, yeah.
And I was about to say, the visual style almost makes me think of, like, you kind of half remembered Kirby after playing it one night and then went to sleep, and then your brain filled in a few of the gaps, and then that was kind of the the memory that you had.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. It's very cool.
Yeah, no. What was I going to say?
Right, that should be good. We are going to chemical stuff.
Those like little clocks are just simple checkpoints that you hit to unlock. Boop.
Okay. Sweet. So the donation goal has been updated to 800. Do you have any interesting ideas of what you might want to do either with this game after we reach $50, or maybe something else we could do if we get $50 more of donations by the time whatever next is going on is?
Sadly, there's just not that much interesting stuff. Like, if we have a ton of extra time, I could try the extra vision, but one, that takes a bit, and two, we're already like a bit behind on time, so I would rather not if possible.
Yeah, no, I get that. Okay. I think we might just sit tight with the donation goal, just being a... It would be nice to get to 800, because that's more money going towards direct relief, and then we can figure out something else for the morning segment when people start logging back on.
Yeah, if someone wants to be the funny person, you could donate or just say in chat, honestly. If you want me to put the pixel filter on, which is added to sort of invoke the feelings of the original PS1 version in its style. Or I think they even reduced the poly count on like some of the models to
Actually,
account
I'm
for
going
it.
to change the goal to be 770, so that's $20 above what we have right now, and then I'll make that the pixel filter. So if we get $20 during our time playing Klonoa, we will turn on the pixel filter.
Yeah, only 20. Yeah, goal something like that should only be
You spell Klonoa
$20.
Klonoa.
Yes.
Okay. Does that look good?
Yep. That looks good.
Yeah, well, Kat, it's not just you the only person that could do that. Anyone else that's wanting to put some money forward towards direct relief can donate, and it doesn't have to be a single donation. It's just aggregate, not aggregate, like the summation of all the donations during
Yeah.
the segment. We need to equal $20.
Yes, and also something to keep in mind, if you're ever curious of how the pixel filter looks, just ask and I will show it. It's, something.
Yeah. Oh, you've got minecart segments. It's a real, it's a real platformer of the period.
Yep. Only in this part. Only in this part.
It's basically just a cutscene.
Yeah, pretty much just a very glorified cutscene where you could collect some crystals.
Oh, there is some jumping then. Okay. I do like the little animation that Klonoa has when they're fluttering, because it looks like, you know, it's kind of doggy paddling in the air to just get a little bit more height.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
It's even better in the PS1 version because you actually saw his face go a little red too.
Oh, that's adorable.
Like running out of breath. Yeah. Oh no, the moves are adorable, and I always feel bad whenever I do this to them.
They definitely have a Waddle Dee-esque charm to them.
Oh, without a doubt. They're very much a Waddle Dee archetype,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term.
Yeah. Are all of the enemies called moves, or is that just the specific kind of ray orby-shaped ones, or I guess the multicolored orby-shaped ones?
Yes. It's exactly what you just said.
Oh.
Like, these are called... I forgot the name. But yeah, you have like a shield move over here.
Yeah. What are those eggs?
You just throw stuff in them, and you get stuff. Sometimes it could be like a heart, civilian.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're kind of like, I think there's something kind of like that in Yoshi's Island, isn't there?
I think so?
Yeah, no, the question mark clouds in Yoshi Island. That's what I'm thinking of. The little question mark clouds you need to throw an egg at, and then something happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I missed a couple.
That's alright, this isn't 100% run.
Yeah. It's more unfortunate because after every stage, music starts playing, and it's based on like how many people you get.
Oh,
So
that's
to
a
get
cool
the
little
complete
feature.
one, yes, you don't really get that if you replay through stages, sadly.
Ah.
Yeah.
So just a question.
Or actually,
those clocks you've been picking up, what do they do?
they're just checkpoints.
Oh, they're checkpoints, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was just realizing the level timer counts up, not down.
Yeah. Also, I forget. I actually didn't miss any. I think.
Oh, they're just
the
in a weird
counter
order?
is just being weird because
Yeah.
in the PS1 version they didn't. If you got the fifth one without collecting any of the other ones, it would act like as if you got the first one.
Oh, that's a weird thing.
Yeah, and they didn't. What's the term? They didn't properly implement it too well here, sadly.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
It's a whatever thing, but it is a little weird.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I think that is the dono sound, which is $20 from Cat, with just the message "Uwu." Do you want to turn on the pixel filter then?
Yeah, I'll turn it on in a quick second.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the donation, Cat.
Yeah. So, the pixel filter, its purpose is to invoke the idea of how the PS1 version looked, where all the characters were sprite-based. And this is how it looks.
I actually quite like that.
It actually looks fairly decent in some places, but in other places it looks very off.
Yeah, okay. Man, it does really change the visual style, though. It's quite impressive, actually.
Yeah, like it's definitely like one of the more thorough filters I've seen.
Yeah, it
And
kinda
yes, you
reminds
are
me
correct,
of,
Kat. It is insanely saturated.
Oh, I don't know if you've played
It,
much of the Binding of Isaac, but in Repentance they changed the way the retrovision pill worked. So instead of just making the screen kind of foggy, they actually changed the way it looks a lot more substantively, and so it starts to kind of look like a really low res. I don't want to say like Game Boy game, but it made the visual style closer to something like a Game Boy game than it does a
yeah.
PC game. I gotta say, that's a
Yeah.
really interesting character design there. That
Yeah, no,
mask
the
is quite
character-
impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, also something interesting to note is that for cutscenes, they actually just straight up use the original audio from the PS1 version in all its kind of crunchy gloriousness.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Although for Klonoa sounds in stages, that has been updated actually. I think because they used the noises from 2, or maybe the Wii remake. Which is very
It does kind of
weird.
look like a Berserk reference, you're right.
Oh my god.
It looks...
I've never
oh,
thought
what is it?
about it. I
It's like-
never thought about it.
Yeah, it looks like the mask
Oh.
that, God, what's the person's name?
Femto.
Yeah.
Or Griffith.
Yeah,
technically.
Griffith's mask, yeah.
Yeah, Femto, Griffith, whatever. I've never thought about that. This game did come out in the 890s, so yeah. Speaking of character designs, it's very interesting looking at the development of Klonoa because I think Klonoa was meant to be a robot, and
Oh,
also
interesting.
the game was originally meant to take place in a apocalyptic world. Or post-apocalyptic world, apologies. And to... And it's very interesting. And also we have the first boss, Rongo Lango.
Rongo Lanko. No, Rongo
Yes.
Lango, not Lanko. Oh, this reminds me a lot of the oh god. There's a lot of boss fights that in 3D games go into these kind of 2D segments. I think all the Sonic Rush games have boss fights that look a little bit like this.
You're right! I forgot about those fights.
Yeah. It is kind of cool when 2D games try and do stuff like this.
Oh no, it very much is.
It's always really
in
fun,
Klonoa-
especially if you have projectiles and you throw them and they loop like all the way around.
Yes.
Curve the bullet.
Yes. And we also have Yoga, who also has a very interesting design.
Yeah. I gotta say, I actually really like the way the bell and other things like that look with this pixel filter on. They've kind of gotten like the weird harsh shadow thing that certain games used to have like that.
It reminds me of a lot of like very compressed images from like GBA games would have.
Yeah, you're right. It looks a little
Like
bit
the
like
amount
the,
of artifacting and stuff like that, like
Yeah, no, it definitely has that style
Like
of like the
this-
stills that you'd have in the GBA games. for
Right here.
cutscenes.
literally looks like something out of a GBA port.
Yeah, it
Of
does.
this
I kind
game.
of love that.
Again, it's a very weird filter.
Oh, definitely. I don't think it does a very good job of replicating the PlayStation graphics, but
Yeah, which is why I say it's meant to more invoke it, because if it's trying to replicate it, it's not doing a good job of it at all. Especially with a lot of these camera angles that seem to take more from the Wii version.
I gotta say, I think I agree with you, Kat. The crunchy does make me happy as well.
Uh,
It is a little jarring that the text boxes look completely normal, though.
same with like everything HUD related, which I kind of wish it would affect that.
Oh man, the map screen looks great.
Yeah, no, it has a very nice picture book aesthetic that I
Well, I
really
mean
love.
with the filter as well.
Yeah, here the filter actually looks pretty alright.
It actually, from what I saw of the PlayStation 1, this probably is the closest that this game has looked to that yet, being on the map screen.
Yes.
So, are the levels just called visions for a fun gimmick, or does that relate
Related
to
to, somewhat related to the themes of the game that I won't really get into right now because it's not exactly spoilery, but it's definitely like something that the game. I'm not sure if complicated is even the right word. Just something that the game will probably explain better than I can.
Oh, okay. Oh, so each little world has a different icon for the villagers
Yes.
you're saving. Oh, and the villagers actually look different as well.
Yes. These are more tribal people and look very different because of it.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't think the games are related in any way, but Klonoa always reminded me of, I think it was Tombi it was called? Tomba?
Yeah, it very much has like a extremely similar like style to
well,
it.
because
Yeah.
aren't they both like 3D, 2D platformers on the PlayStation 1 that used sprites?
They are, yes.
Levels and stuff? Yeah. I guess it's a niche subgenre.
It very much is a product of its time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And something interesting about this game is that the director of it is the director of the original Ninja Gaiden games.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Have you played many of the original Ninja Gaiden games or not quite?
Oh god, no. No.
No? Okay. I think I've played Ninja Gaiden 1, and I've only beaten the first level.
Hmm.
Okay, I
love
briefly
these
just
guys
need to go
just
to the
holding the
washroom.
forks.
But I'll be back in a few minutes. I'll also just grab my water and refill that, so...
Yep.
Okay, I'll just be back in a minute.
Mhm. Yes. I very much love this game. It means a lot to me. I love the story, which I haven't really talked much about, but it's a very it's very much a story meant for kids, but I do think is very mature and knows when to be serious. May not seem like it right now, but it definitely has its like very serious and mature moments. That I think are really valuable to a child. Which, you know, I was at the time when I learned of this game. And I've never played the sequel, honestly, which I do plan to, probably after this stream, and after I get some well-deserved rest. Yeah, no, the moves are very adorable. These guys right here, that I forgot their name, are also very adorable. Really gives me, what's the evolution of Oddish? Vileplume. Very Vileplume vibes. Also, the characters in this game speak in a fictional language! That in the Wii version, you could change to English! And they spoke English! And it was really weird! That is all. Jugpot. Yeah, no, it was very weird, and Klonoa's English actor, God bless her soul, but yeah. I really don't like that Moo's, like, just static expression with this filter. It looks very menacing. Although this soldier is not looking too friendly either. Yeah, it does kind of look like that. And as you could hopefully notice, as you collect more and more people, the song gets longer and longer throughout the game. Here, the filter actually looks very nice. Like, this actually does look like something out of the PS1 Klonoa. Oh, no, no! That was me being stupid.
Ready, I'm back.
What the heck?
I'm gonna need to go again in a minute because I realized, hey, it's getting late. I'm getting tired. I'm gonna get some coffee. So, the kettle is boiling
fair.
right now. So I'll have to go and grab that in a minute, but I can stick around for a while. No, only be a minute, as I said, because I just need to go downstairs and pour it out.
Yeah, of course.
Uh,
Not much has happened.
Yeah. I'll say I do quite like this zone so far. It's very corally, which I think the
Yes.
this filter actually works quite well with because it kind of accentuates the pastel colors.
Oh no, it very much does. Like in very like bright or very colorful areas, this filter actually works very well.
Yeah, that forest level that I left while you were on, it didn't quite look so good on, but
It only gets worse.
it's always fun to kind of see how things get better and worse. I remember a few years ago, I was watching the anime Seven Deadly Sins, if you're familiar, and
I am. I'm only familiar with it for that one really badly animated scene.
oh yeah, I think it was the third season they changed animation
Yeah.
studios, and the whole thing just started to look real bad. But every time a new character got introduced, I'd always switch over to the dub to see how they sounded and if they were any good. Just so I could like compare between the two. The dub wasn't bad. There were a few characters that really nailed it. Unfortunately, there were a few main characters that I really didn't like, but
Yeah, just kind of how it is with dubs.
it is.
I would say the general quality of dubs have gone much higher than say like the 80s and 90s, but
well, yeah,
you definitely do
obviously,
get
there's
some
some
lackluster
exceptions, like,
dubs these
Cowboy
days.
Bebop, that was great back then too, but
Yeah, or what was it? Yu Yu Hakusho also had a very great dub.
yeah, I think with Cowboy Bebop, the reason I like the dub so much isn't just because it's good, but it's because Cowboy Bebop is a Western, and having a Japanese Western feels a little weird.
It's definitely a little weird.
Because they're very clearly trying to make it seem American, right? It's the same kind of disconnect you see when like a film is supposed to be taking place in medieval France or something and everyone speaks like they're British.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, that's a little wrong. I don't like
plot
this.
language, thankfully.
It is kind of funny how a lot of games and media and other stuff have just kind of decided that anywhere in Europe, they speak with a British accent. If
Yeah.
you're in a historical period where they don't speak English and you're in Europe, everyone speaks with a British accent.
Yes, and speaking of English dubs, you weren't here for it, but I did mention that in the Wii version of Klonoa, you had the option of the English dub, because otherwise they just speak a fictional language. And
Yeah.
it was not a very good dub. Most of the actors were fine, but Klonoa's specifically was... Yikes.
Yeah, that's always really unfortunate where a main character's done poorly. It's kind of like that in the Seven Deadly Sins dub. There's a secondary character called Barn, who I think the English voice actor for nails. I think the Japanese and the English voice actor for Barn on the same level. Insanely good, both of them. But then the main character, Meliodas, the Japanese voice isn't my favorite, but the English voice is worse.
Yeah.
10 a.m. Yeah. Mind you, I've heard that voicing for dubs can be really challenging because you aren't just voicing a character, you're voicing a character that already exists in a show that already exists.
In a show that people probably have already watched and are judging you based on.
Well, that's the other thing, is like they're not reanimating it, right? So a lot of the time you
Yeah.
need to make sure the line doesn't only fit the meaning, but it fits the timing and has the rough same
Yeah.
lip movements. And that can always be really hard because it means that the things you might be saying, you're trying to perform it in a certain way, but then the tone of the scene's slightly different, and it can be like a really hard deal for voice actors. So there's a lot of time that it doesn't really come down to the voice actors. It comes down a lot to the, the writers and the voice directors and all that other stuff.
Yeah. I know for games like Kingdom Hearts, they actually did go back and re-lip sync like a lot of the lines so that they would fit for the English versions and stuff. But
yeah.
I know stuff like that is not very common
Yeah, definitely.
and is a luxury a lot of the time.
A pretty bad example of it would be, I think it's Xenoblade 2. They didn't do that.
Oh yeah.
And that game has some real disconnects of the things people are saying and the things people are saying. I don't think it kills a lot of scenes, but it definitely can be really awkward, but there's a big, big serious moment and it's undercut by just like flapping the lips, and then a completely different thing coming out.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because
Or-
the first game had that too, but the first game, you know, being on the Wii, it wasn't a particularly high definition game. And so,
Yeah.
you know, it could kind of slide, but the second game, the visual style has so much more fidelity and style to it that having that one thing kind of be more out of place really shines. And it's really unfortunate because, yeah. It looks like the third game, though, they actually reanimated a bunch of stuff for, which is really cool. I don't know if you're a Xenoblade fan, but I'm excited for Xenoblade 3.
Oh, I am too. I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
It was
Also,
kinda
we have
funny.
the second boss here.
Evil Siphodon and Evil Pamela?
Seedorf and Pamela.
Oh,
And also,
Seedorf.
yeah. And fun thing, you can grab Seedorf while he's riding on Pamela.
Oh, that's cool.
Speedrunners do this to get this fight down to like a minute. Or I think even like 30 seconds. Because his attack patterns are slightly randomized.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. The day that Xenoblade 3 was announced, I joined the call, you know, with Red and Harain because they were all reacting to the direct, and I wasn't reacting with them, but I saw they were reacting to it, and I just jumped in. And I had like a 10-minute bit of like, oh my god, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane to me that it's been 5 years since Xenoblade 2.
Yeah, I actually only recently got back into the games. I tried playing the first game it wasn't a few years ago, it was quite a few years ago. I was first introduced to the first game when Choga Conroy was doing the LP of it.
Yeah, same here.
But like I hadn't played the game at that point, so I was watching the LP a little bit as it came out, and then I kind of fell off it because it was really long, and I thought I might want to play the game, so I didn't want to spoil myself. So I think I watched up to like just before the Ether Mine, and then I kind of quit the LP.
Yeah.
And so I started playing the game, and for some reason I just, you know, it slipped my mind that I had it. So it had been sitting installed on my computer for years. And eventually one day I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play Xenoblade Chronicles, because I think Choga Conroy was about to wrap up his Xenoblade 2 playthrough, and that reminded me of it because I've been subbed to him for a while.
His playthrough that lasted for like, what, 2 years?
2.5 years, I think, something like that.
He did get Cosmos, right?
Yeah, he did get Cosmos. It's actually really funny. I
poor
got Cosmos
soul.
from a common core crystal on Zeke. Mr.
Oh.
Unlucky himself.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Yes. Also, quick thing I want to mention about Klonoa. I think it's really cool that for the first stage, you actually get to go on a detour to another completely different kingdom with different citizens and all. And then after the stage, you go back to the jungle stage.
Oh, that's actually a really cool thing where you just take a little detour.
Yeah.
Oh, I just realized
Yeah.
on the map screen, the people are the citizens you saved.
Yeah, they actually, like, go there.
Yeah, they show up on the map screen because they, you know, they repopulated stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah. And yes, he did indeed look like a Mennonite for a bit. Or, what was the other one? Galactonite. That was it.
Galactonite, and then there's Morphonite as well.
Oh, there is Morphonite.
Oh yeah, so anyway, so I played through Xenoblade 1 in the winter, and then as soon as I beat it, I bought a Switch and I played through Xenoblade 2. And
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that, because generally we've reserved the stream for kind of keeping it light, but I have thoughts on that game.
Oh, I have my thoughts on that game
Oh.
too. Do
I will
not
say, I
worry.
will clarify though, I've played the game for about 250 hours, so I don't hate it, I just have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah, I have around 150, I think.
Yeah, no, I did every single side quest other than one of the DLC side quests. I did a New Game Plus and a New Game. I did a New Game and New Game Plus playthrough. I've maxed out every affinity shot. I haven't maxed out Trust on every blade. And I did all the side quests in Torna.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do New Game Plus in Torna, though. Yeah, no, I think it's funny, because I've actually played Xenoblade 2 for longer than I played Xenoblade 1. And in my opinion, Xenoblade 1 is easily my preferred game of the two. And I also think it's the better game, but for some reason, maybe it was sunk cost fallacy, maybe it's because I just got a Switch, but I put so many hours into that game. And I don't even regret them. I genuinely enjoyed quite a lot of them, but Man, I am left with a lot of thoughts.
Yeah, I mostly played a lot of 2, mostly because there wasn't like a 1, and my PC wasn't good enough to emulate it, and I did not feel like going to the secondhand market for copies of Xenoblade 1.
Yeah, I played through it on Dolphin my first time as well.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I played through the game at 4K 60. Oh my goodness, the first game is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, no, the environments still look insanely good for a Wii game.
When it's not running at 480p, the first game is stunning.
Yeah.
Honestly, I actually bought a 2DS XL to play through Xenoblade 1 on, and even the 3DS version of the game looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the models are definitely like worse on that version, but like the environments still look extremely nice.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I'll just leave my thoughts there, but yeah. Excited for three.
Yeah.
Did you
Yep,
get caught up in the pre-order mess?
I tried pre-ordering and it was did not go well.
Yeah. I've decided to hold my thing on a pre-order, mostly because the special edition wasn't that exciting. I think it was just a few little things, which, you know, are nice and all. I think the steelbook looked pretty cool, but I wasn't quite sure if I wanted it.
Yeah, and also we have some newer enemies. These dudes that have armor and have really funny noses that are secretly just moves in disguise.
That's really cute. They're trying to be all cute by, I mean, they're trying to look all big and scary and evil, but they're just these sweet little boys.
No, moves are adorable.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, as much as I'm not in collector's editions, I did actually buy a copy of both the GameStop pre-order art book for Xenoblade 1 and the Monado Archives art book, which are both really cool.
That is nice to hear. Yeah.
I also, there's a Twitter artist I really love, and they actually released an unofficial art book of a bunch of their work for the game that I absolutely adore, so I have that on my shelf now too.
Cool.
Yeah. People, if you enjoy people that make art on the internet and they're selling physical versions of that art, support it if you can. Supporting artists is good and nice, and it's nice to have things that you think are pretty to look at.
Yep.
And speaking of financially supporting people, you could be financially supporting Direct Relief, which is the charity that all of the donations towards the stream are going to. It's a charity that supports people in times of crisis. So they are active in disaster relief situations. They've been active in Ukraine in light of what's been going on there. And yeah, so if you're interested in supporting that cause, you can donate to the stream. 100% of donations will go towards Direct Relief. And we don't have any current stretch goals for donations, nor do we have any game-specific goals, but in future we will have that for certain events. We are almost at $800, which is really, really exciting. I think we've kind of blown away a lot of our expectations on how much we're going to raise today, and also just how much we're going to raise in general. So thank you very much to everyone who's here that donated, and thanks for everyone who's just here tuning in and enjoying some Klonoa.
Yeah, thank you so much for all the money you've given. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, these tree levels really don't hold up as well as the other ones.
They really don't.
I will say the tree itself doesn't look bad, but it's kind of it with everything else that just doesn't hold up the most.
Yeah.
Oh. But you know, it's one of those things, as I said, it's just kind of cool to see how the filter works and what's going on with it, even if it doesn't look the best in every case. I will say it does kind of, I don't know if weird me out is the right word, but confuse me with the fact that the heart pickups in this game kind of look like heart pieces in Zelda.
Yeah.
And so I see them and I think, oh yeah, that's a health upgrade, but nope, it's just a healing thing. So with those big moves, can you just get them to stand still, or is there any way of actually picking them up?
You get them to stand still. You cannot pick them up, sadly.
Oh, that would have been really funny.
Nah, I think you can in the sequel. I could be wrong.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I need to play the sequel.
What is the sequel called?
Lunatia's Veil. It is a part of this collection.
Ah, okay. Are we just going through the first game today?
Just the first game, yeah.
I wasn't quite sure how long it was. I've not played the Klonoa games before.
Oh yeah, no, the first one is very short. Like, there's like total of like 12 stages, so we're already almost halfway there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know, short and sweet's generally better than a long
Oh,
and
no.
overstays its welcome.
Yeah, it's a very short but very sweet game.
Yeah.
It does not overstay its welcome, thankfully.
That's one of the things I really appreciated about trying a lot of Metroid games for the first time recently. A lot of them you can beat in, you know, a handful of hours on your
Yeah.
first try as well. Fusion especially, which is probably my favorite of them so far. But
Yeah.
it's also really nice if you can find a game that's short enough to kind of be played in one sitting, because it means that, you know, if you have an evening where you just want to relax but don't really kind of know what to do, you can always just be like, you know what, I've got a few hours to spare, I'm going to do a run through Klonoa.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love Klonoa 1 because of how short but very concise it is. It very much does not overstay its welcome, and it does what it needs to, and perfectly uses its mechanics, or I guess mechanic, because there's really just the whole grab mechanic. And that's really it in terms of like your moveset, outside of like the little flutter, of course.
Well, I think they get a lot of mileage out of it.
They get so much mileage out of it. You haven't even seen some of the later stages, or the extra vision where half the platforms are just the enemies that you use to jump off of.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, I know. It's really cool. Oh no, right, I'm supposed to be here.
Okay, I am going to go and grab my coffee, so I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Yep.
And hopefully I don't miss too much. I gotta say,
Not
this
much,
visual
like-
style with that water definitely has a weird disconnect, because it's obviously very smooth 3D modeled water, and the visual style with the filter doesn't quite make it look like older stuff. It still looks like a really modern thing, just weird.
Yeah. Like stuff like the flowers, it's like, yeah, that looks like a PS1 texture, like a
Yeah.
PS1 model.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes.
hmm Probably gonna turn up the voices in this game. Not by much, but a little bit. I'm more of a green tea person. Coffee is, at least by itself, is not that great. To me, at least. Very bitter. Depends on the coffee, too, of course. Would you believe me if I said I've never had tiramisu? Also, we're at 3 a.m. Woo! We should be able to beat the game in an hour and a half. Yeah. Yeah, on jaw. The music jingle is getting closer to completion. Mwah. So we have a new type of enemy again. We have exploding elephants. Yes, Klonoa has a wide variety of noises. And they're all adorable, and I love all of them. Look at these little guys. How could you hate them? Their little tails are like the wicks and everything too. Look even better with the filter.
Alrighty, I am back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Ah, I messed up.
Honestly, this level in particular reminds me a lot of, oh, what was that one Crash Bandicoot level where you're climbing up the wall?
Oh, I forgot. I'm not a Crash fan, sadly.
Yeah. It's in the first game. It's in one of the first worlds. There's just a big wall that you
Like,
have to
I
climb up.
know the level you're talking about,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
do
yeah.
not remember the name of it in the slightest, and I died again.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
It might be the
We're getting
Russian
to,
Russian Minecraft box? What's that? Are those meant to look like bees? I can't quite tell.
Hornet, wasp. Kinda, yeah.
I'm so sorry, Jill, saying unexplainable things. That was a
Yeah.
chat.
Yep, I see that, yeah.
Okay. I just know sometimes, depending on the game, it can be hard to focus on it and chat at the same time. I, especially someone who hasn't really streamed before, it's not a reflex I've built up.
Yeah, I thankfully have a second monitor that I can use to easily look at chat and contemplate timing out people.
That is in no way a direct response to a single chatter.
No, not at all. Not at all. Also, look at these little guys. These little guys that
Wait, do
explode.
those dogs just like decide they want to explode if you get too close? Or
They
pigs?
just explode on their own.
Oh, they explode on their own, okay. It's not a proximity thing.
I see them more as elephants, personally.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And then these enemies that only appear in this room and nowhere else outside of, like, I think the extra vision?
That's bizarre. Can you even pick them up or no?
You should be able to. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know why I was having trouble there.
The reason I think of them as like pigs or orbs or something is because they kind of remind me of that one fire Pokemon. I think Tepig was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tepig.
That's what they look like to me.
You know what? They probably are meant to be more like pigs than elephants.
Yeah. Oh no, but they also kind of look like the Shantae's elephant form.
Yeah. Who knows?
Man, this is giving me big Game Boy Advance vibes as well, this one.
Yeah, especially the walls here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, also, especially the pillar there. That had like a very kind of flat look to it. Which I guess is
Very
kind of
much
impressive
so.
in a way.
Yeah. It's like a lot of these look like aesthetically nice, and then you just get like the random one here or there that just stick
Yeah,
out
that's
like
a
a
real
sore
clanker.
thumb. Yeah.
I think it's one of those things that looks better in still than motion.
Well, without a doubt. Well, without a doubt.
Because the enemy models never quite look like they're in the style. They still kind of look like they're the modern ones.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, it's just a little discordant. What are those things there?
Just little things you're supposed to hit to like do stuff like this, for example, or like open the door and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, so they're just switches.
Yep. They're just switches.
Cool. I was about to say, you're playing with fire a little bit there.
They take a good while, thankfully.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm not exactly familiar with them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, thanks for dropping by, Kat. And thanks for your donations as well.
Good night, Cat. Thank you very much for your donations today.
Have a good night, sleep well. I unfortunately won't be able to do that for a while, but I will enjoy the time I have awake.
There we go. Jesus. I don't know why I was having so much trouble.
Yeah. Is there a continue/game over system in this game, or is it?
Yeah,
just
if
the
you
life?
lose all your lives, you just have to start the stage all over. That's
Oh, okay, so it's just the stage then.
it. Yeah.
How long are stages usually?
I would say around 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, so it's definitely like a punishment, but it's not horrible.
Yeah, no. In some of the later stages, it's not great.
Oh yeah, I would expect the game to get a little bit more unforgiving as it goes on. That was a nice cup of coffee.
Yep.
Just had to wait for it to finish steeping because I'm doing it in a French press.
Ah, okay.
So Jill, what is your favorite kind of coffee?
I don't drink much coffee.
You don't?
I'm not a very big coffee person. I usually prefer tea.
Oh yeah? I generally drink more tea than I do coffee, but there are times and places.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those times, and it's definitely one of those places.
Yeah.
I really do like the crystal kind of aesthetic that the little indicator in the top left has going on. One thing that I'm not too sure how the original game fully looked, But one thing I'm glad about this remake doing is I found a lot of remakes, they kind of boil a lot of the personality out of a lot of the HUD elements and stuff to make them very kind of plain and readable. But this one
Yeah.
definitely tries to kind of have a little bit of an in-universe flourish to them with, the gears on the side and the kind of bouncing crystal hearts.
Yes, and it actually changes based on the world, I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's a really cool feature.
Yeah. In the original, it was actually just like this bar that just had like all the stats and everything on like the bottom of the screen.
Oh, I think that's actually quite a nice change then.
No, it definitely is.
Also, good morning, Ben.
Hello. Sorry
Oh,
for
morning.
not being here.
It's fine, I
Nah,
think
no
we're
worries.
doing alright.
Yeah.
Ah, well, I'm.
You are no longer needed, Ben. You have been replaced. Leave this place immediately.
Okay.
Nah, just kidding. It's good to have you around.
Try and stay up for like an hour or two.
I have 8.5 hours before I need to go drop my car off.
I mean, I am looking. I'll admit, I'm looking forward to tomorrow or today. No, actually tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Even if I'm not looking forward to playing the PS2 version.
Of what?
Cold Fear.
Oh, you're playing the PS2
Oh.
version?
Yeah, well, because while the PC version plays better, it is a horrible PC version.
Ah, I see.
Oh, so it's just gonna be a nightmare to get the stream stable and good?
Oh, it's impossible to.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's you can't even. You can't even. You can't even alt tab out of it without it crashing.
Oh, okay, so it's one of those kinds of games.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, that's a nightmare. Actually, just gonna quickly look up Klonoa, go to Antimile, PS1. I want to see the HUD for the original game. Oh yeah, it's got this kind of big bar on the bottom with all that elements. I think they did a
Yeah.
really good job of kind of keeping a lot of the personality that was there, but also making it a little bit less, I don't want to say intrusive, but I guess kind of more in line with modern sensibilities.
Oh yeah, no, I think they generally did a very great job with the collection here. At least a better job than the Wii version, which nerfed the difficulty of the game by a significant margin.
Oh, that sounds like it'd be really unfortunate. It's not like this game seems like the pinnacle of difficulty or anything, but it does seem like you'd probably want to keep it about where it was.
Yeah.
Also, I'm looking at the Wii version now, and the Wii version actually kind of does what I was talking about with boiling a little bit of personality out with the HUD.
Exactly.
Oh man, yeah, and the environments look a lot more, I don't want to say natural, but they're kind of going for like a more believable look, I guess? As opposed to leaning fully into kind of the fantasy wonder.
Yeah, which I'm not too big on either.
Yeah. No, this remake's actually really impressive, checking the comparison between the Wii version, the original, and this.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, no, Klonoa himself looking a little bit lanky and humanoid.
Yeah, it's still a decent design, I would say.
It's not
but I
bad,
think
it's
I
just very
prefer this
jarring.
design a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's the design I first saw, you know? So.
Yeah. I don't know, I like stubby little cartoon characters. I think making cartoon characters more lanky isn't necessarily bad, but there's definitely a cutesiness that kind of comes along with them being these little thumbs of people. I will say, I do think nonsense speak is one of my favorite tropes in video games. Like,
Yeah.
an almost kind of language that sounds vaguely like it could be something, but totally isn't.
Yeah, no, like, when they say, like, a character's name, it's like, you could hear them say the name of it. And I think there's even, like, some Japanese words that, like, actually just get in there. I assume by, like, coincidence, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
No. I know Simlish didn't come first, but I always just think of Simlish when I think of these kinds of almost made-up languages.
Yeah.
It's not really the same, but the thing I think of is like what Banjo-Kazooie does.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely similar, but yeah.
Oh, 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 oh.
They're very distinctive.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do think that's quite impressive with Banjo, how they managed to have each character have a really kind of full personality, despite the fact that they're just like 3 sound bites interspersed into each other over and over again.
Yeah, and like maybe different frequencies and
Yeah, maybe pitching it up and down a little bit.
yeah, that's really it.
It's the charm of Rare.
Yeah.
Back at
I think we were speaking about this a little bit last night, but a lot of those kinds of fun little workarounds they did to deal with, low memory for a console or whatever, that was the reason they used a lot of like repeated sound effects but pitch shifted up and down, so you didn't have to make a whole new sound effect.
Yeah.
A lot of
They
those
did
things,
that
since
a
you don't need to
lot,
do
yeah.
them anymore, they aren't quite a thing as much, and
Yeah.
it means that even those retro throwback games don't quite have the same style as the retro games they're throwing back to, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. There's great examples like Shovel Knight, where it still keeps a lot of the spirit and feeling intact, whilst also kind of feeling modern and fun and slick. But there's also other times where it's like, you really just miss the old stuff, even if it was a little bit crappy in some ways. It was just, it was fun.
Yeah.
it felt more like it had a soul.
Yeah, actually, oh yeah, no, you are right. It does change based on the world, because it doesn't have the cogs on this one.
Yep.
Man, that's so cool. I was actually speaking about this earlier, Ben. I don't know if you're here to hear it. But I said a problem with a lot of remakes is that they kind of boil a lot of the personality or soul out of the games they're remaking by kind of, I don't want to say ruining, but they try and focus on like readability and usability over personality. And one thing I really liked so far about the way this remake presents itself is stuff like the health bar. The hearts bounce up and down, they've got a crystal look to them, and then also the little background behind it changes based on every stage. As opposed to it just being, a kind of very functionalist, like, oh yeah, this is how much HP you have kind of thing.
Fuck. Oh, man. Unfortunate.
It's all good. How many more levels do you have?
I'm actually halfway done with the game. There's only 6 more.
Oh, sweet. Were you around, Ben, for the Hat in Time race?
Sort of, but I was in and out of it.
Oh, okay. It went pretty well.
Who won?
I did, by a very small margin, and mostly just because Red's computer crashed at one point. Not computer,
Yeah.
his game crashed. If his game didn't crash, he would have beaten me, almost certainly.
Yeah, that was quite unfortunate in that regard.
Yeah. I think he lost about 3 or 4 minutes of time. And I think I probably beat him by about like a minute or maybe a minute and a half. It was really close. I finished the final cutscene when he started the final cutscene. But it was fun because I think we had we did have 2 donations that shifted the thing a little bit, but we got one of them during the final level, so we instead put them towards we made the joke that like the final timepiece you get for beating the final level was the 27th timepiece we need to beat the game.
Yes.
Hey, it says 27 when we beat the game. That counts, right?
Sure. Also, I forgot to get this guy over here.
Yeah, no, it was really fun. And then we had a donate to activate the pixel filter in this game, which is why it looks a little bit crunchy despite being a modern remake.
And very saturated.
And very saturated.
Like, good lord, what is this saturation?
Yeah.
Honestly, it still looks better than the pixel mode of Dead Space 3.
Oh, there's Dead Space 3 in a pixel mode?
Yeah, but it was really obnoxious to unlock, and I only did it by sort of cheating.
Alright, let's just... Okay. The video is muted, so it won't play audio because I have my desktop audio going.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this is... ugly.
Yeah.
I will say YouTube compression isn't doing it justice though, because YouTube compression does not like that kind of look. Interesting.
Yeah, no, I had to cheat to get it, because there was a glitch you could, well, like, when we were talking, I think, yesterday about, like, the foam finger,
Oh yeah?
it's in Dead Space 3, but they didn't disable it for, like, the bonus modes, before they released it, so they did a day one patch that did it.
Oh yeah, so if you play on the pre-patch version of the game.
Yeah. You can get it, then save after getting it, and, then, just, you get it. And you have to beat the game mode where you've got one life, and if you die at any point, you have to restart from the beginning.
Oh, so you use the foam finger in that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I was not going to try doing that without it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And actually, not funny story, because it was really infuriating at the time, but I got up to, like, the part right before the boss fight, like, the final boss, and got killed by, a platform trap.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, my first time playing it.
Oh, also, I don't know if you heard about it, but apparently the Callisto Protocol, I gotta look this up real quick, because there's a detail that I want to remember what the character's name was. Ah, yes. So you play the character Jacob Lee, and apparently... the reason why they called the main character Jacob is because Jacob is the son of Isaac in the Bible.
I like that.
Yeah,
God.
which I thought was pretty sweet.
That's stupid. So stupid. God.
Well, Jill, if you want to hear something really stupid, have you ever heard of the game? It's not a fan game because it's an indie game called Negative Atmosphere.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully you get where it's the name.
It reminds me of how, I don't know if you were there, but last night one of my IRL friends joined the stream when we were doing the Smash tournament in the morning, and he made us donate a name, I think Full Tilt Boogie, which is a reference to a podcast that we both listen to, and it's a podcast that talks about InfoWars, and the name of the podcast is Knowledge Fight, which took me like 5 episodes to realize was a joke. Oh.
I guess actually then I'll bring it up. The thing I was going to tell you is, I don't know if you've heard about this or not, but BMW, at least I know it's happening in South Korea, has basically added microtransactions to the heating system of their cars.
To the heating systems of their cars? What?
Oh yes, yes. You have to pay a subscription service, or else the heating systems will not work.
Oh my god. That is...
I think it's specifically, like the seat warmers.
What the heck? That's just... bizarre.
Yeah. It's the world we live in now.
I'm not even necessarily mad about it, I'm just confused. Like, I'm obviously not happy with it, but... my immediate reaction is just going, huh? What? Whoa? Okay, well... I guess that's a thing now.
It's something.
It's something. They realized that gacha games were too popular, and they had to give you a loot box to see if you see if you're allowed to heat your seats today.
Yes, I'll freeze.
Didn't draw the bikini version of my seat warmer. Oh
Yeah.
man, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. Oh
Sorry,
God!
Mom,
If
I
I
can't.
can, if I draw right now on this thing, I won't just get the seat warmers, but I'll get the extra seat warmer where it just turns it on. But like I'm allowed to set it to a higher setting instead of just the default.
Why isn't this working?
So it just reminds me of like my mom's car. This
There we go.
really weird button. Basically, what it does is like the headrests for like the back seats. It'll just slam them down. So you can just smack people with it.
That is bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, another weird thing to do with seat warming. My mum's car has both seat warmers and seat coolers. There's like fans in the seats that will blow cool air out of them. So if you're too warm, you can do that. But it's really funny because you can turn both the warmer and the cooler on at the same time. They aren't mutually exclusive.
Oh!
So if you really wanted to, you could be like, I'm too hot, but this hotness is getting too hot for me, so I want to get hot but slightly slower, so I'll turn on the cooling and it'll cancel out. It's a very
Genius.
confusing feature, but... I will say, I really do like how, as you mentioned, they kind of do play with the enemy mechanic a little bit more, and it seems like there's a lot of times where there's either chains or single enemies floating in the air that you have to kind of bridge platforms together with now, and it seems like it's getting a lot more common, and it's a really cool feature. I definitely imagine in the extra levels you were talking about, it gets pretty satisfying to do some of the chains of stuff like that come up in them. Oh man, that was just so orange, the saturation.
Yeah, also we're actually up to a very important scene, so I will be quiet for this.
Okay, we'll be quiet.
He is embracing death with a smile.
I was about to say, as soon as I saw the things flying over top, I was like, okay, either they're going to take him with a tractor beam or they're going to carpet bomb the house. They carpet bombed the house. Wait, is that a moo that was working for that? No, I thought they were cute and not evil.
No, they're evil. They're sadly evil.
That's very unfortunate. I
Never
guess they're like
trust a
cats in
rabbit.
that way. Never trust a rabbit, yeah. God, Joker looks like an absolute psycho when he's just standing there.
Get a Chaos Emerald.
Whoa, that snake looks cool.
Yes.
Balladium? 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 All of the above? Some of the above? None of the above?
You decide what its name is.
It's like a choose your own adventure book.
Why fight the creature? Why not join him?
Yeah, it's the, what was it? That joke in D&D where, you know, there's that one person that tries to make friends with everyone, or alternatively it's like a bard who tries to romance everything.
Don't knock it till you tried it.
Exactly. What time is it in your guys' time?
3:30.
3:30, okay. And we finish this at 4:30?
Yes.
Nice. It's just always a little bit hard for me to kind of translate everything in my brain.
Yeah, no worries.
I keep saying this is why you need to move to the East Coast.
Oh wait, no, the clock's on stream. I can just look at that. See, Ben, there's two issues with that. One, I'd either have to live in the Maritimes in Canada, which aren't bad, but they are places I haven't been before, so I don't really know anything about. Or alternatively, I'd have to live in America. And just personally, I'm good with that not being the case.
Oh, right.
I guess I could move to like South America or something, but then the ping would just be horrible for playing games with you guys.
And all the spiders and stuff.
Yeah, that too. That would not be good for me.
What's that? You don't like Goliath man-eaters?
How about we talk about something else? I'm actually pretty excited for watching Cuphead up next. It'll be an interesting little contrast to have Klonoa, a very happy-go-lucky platformer with some
Happy.
weirdly dark turns in the story and cutesy visual aesthetics.
Happy when when literally the father figure is dying.
I don't know. It could be just like a little bump in the road. Look at the hat you're wearing. Isn't that a happy little hat?
You'll get better.
It's alright. Klonoa will get over it. He was gonna die at some point anyway.
Get it? Because he's old.
Just like you, Ben.
Oh!
Oh.
My birthday's coming up, too.
Oh, man.
Who-
I do love the fact that, when you're a kid, your birthday's, you know, just the absolute best thing ever. And even just kind of when you start getting a little bit later into your teenage years, you start just thinking, like, okay, it's fun and all, it's nice I can go and see my friends, but at the same time, this just means that, like, I have a definite marker of things moving forward and the irreversibility of that, and that's not fun.
When you're closer to dying.
It's not even just that, it's the fact that it's 1 year that you can't do anything to affect anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you're in the middle of the year, you're like, oh, I can finish this project I've been working on by the end of the year or whatever. But when it's over, you're like, oh, okay, well that's a wrap on that period of time. Obviously, each day is kind of the same way, but we don't really celebrate it in the same way. So it doesn't feel like there's a definite marker there. But with birthdays, it's it's an ever-present looming reminder.
More mortality.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, look at how cute this storybook is. Look at all the happy people dancing around. I do like the cloud that's blowing onto the windmill.
Yes, it looks very nice. On top of the sun over the next stage we're going to.
Oh, exciting. I will say, I do think, after watching this filter for a while, I wouldn't mind the saturation being turned down on it.
Yeah, yeah. Especially in this that sky there.
Yeah, definitely. Man, this factory stage looks really cool, though.
Yep.
Actually, funnily enough, that Kirby comparison I was drawing earlier, this reminds me a lot of, what is it, the Halberd Meta Knight's ship?
See it?
Oh man, that background looks like a classic adventure game thing. It is actually really impressive how, I'm just realizing now, especially this environment here, it really does have that kind of pre-rendered PSX look to it.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I'm thinking Grim Fandango a lot while looking at this, even though it's a very, very different game.
I need to play that.
I think
'Cause
I
I
got the
got it-
remaster. I got it for free at some point.
Yeah, well, like, I have it on Game Pass.
Oh
but-
yeah? I gotta say, Game Pass is really neat.
Yes, I agree.
If you can't spend a lot of money on games, it's a really, really great way to have a kind of great variety of both big budget and smaller indie titles.
Yes, no, I agree.
And another nice thing about it is that since you're not buying each game, you don't really feel like you need to invest a ton of time into it. So if you start getting bored or tired with a game, you don't kind of have that compulsion in your mind to stick it out all the way through. Which can oftentimes save you from not enjoying yourself.
I feel like, well, I usually, and this is just me, I usually try to get at least half the achievements in the game. Because I'm weird like that.
Oh, Ben. Alice Madness
Yes.
Returns is apparently on Xbox Game Pass.
Oh!
Yeah. And I believe if you play it on Xbox, you actually also can play the original American Mickey's Alice on Game Pass with it.
I take it you're suggesting I do that?
I'm just saying that it's like a weird, quirky cult platformer that is made by one of the guys that worked on Doom and plays like a third-person shooter. I.e., it's a game that ticks a number of, this is weird, I'm gonna try it out boxes that you tend to have. Also, Alice Madness Returns is like one of my favorite games now, so... I might not be into goth stuff, but that weird kind of like goth horror thing, and I don't mean gothic horror, I mean like horror media that has like weird goth aesthetics. It's always been like uniquely and strangely appealing to me in a way I can't describe. And Alice Madness Returns is like the best version of that visual style in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the best ways I can describe the visual style is by saying that one of the outfits that you get in the game has something like 14 different buckles on it.
Dang! That's impressive.
Yeah, well, it's because it's got, there's buckles on the boots, there's buckles on the arms, and then there's like a corset type thing that has buckles on it too. I think you're supposed to save that moo and then wait until the fire subsides to jump over.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just stupid. Or,
Or
I
you
can
can just
do
damage
that.
boost.
Yeah. That also works.
Man, this area does have a really cool style to it though. And the pixel filter works very well in it too.
Yeah, no, this is easily like one of the better places with the filter.
I imagine it also looked amazing in the PS1 game.
Oh no, it looked great. Like all of the areas looked great in the PS1 version. Very PS1, but for PS1 standards, it still looked great.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that just because it looked very PS1 doesn't mean it has to look bad.
I know, it's just a very specific style that
Oh yeah,
like
definitely. It's
some
like how
like and some don't.
it's very much how one of the reasons I love Xenoblade 1 is because it looks extremely Wii.
You're not wrong.
I think the my favorite example of that is in Valak Mountain. There's a few walls that all use the same texture, and because they use the same texture but they're all different sized, sometimes there's a wall that looks really crisp and clear, and then next to it there'll be a wall that looks like an absolute stretched out low resolution mess. And that's like the perfect definition of the art style to me.
Yeah.
Ugly, stretched, warped mess with a bunch of grainy thing because it's so low resolution, next to a texture that's relatively crisp and clear, and both of them look stunning.
The only thing I'm thinking of when you say that is Resident Evil 6.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil 6 kind of has that too, with the character models that are super high fidelity, and then the environments that just look like sludge, especially some of the ones in China. I think, remember, wasn't it like that third level of Chris's campaign, when you, like, after the flashback? Those alleyways?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, those were...
Those are horrendous.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to keep playing that at some point.
As soon as this stream is done, we can.
Yeah. What do you mean, Ben? How about during the period that we're both sleeping, let's play 4 hours of Resident Evil 6? That would be a great way to energize us.
You're trying to make me hate life?
Oh. Just because it seems like we've had some more viewers filter in over the last little while, and it's been a little while since I announced it, I think it might just be a good reminder to everyone of why we're here. So, we are Dawn of a New Day, which is a charity livestream event that we're doing. And we are going for until Friday at 1 p.m. The idea is that we're doing a 72-hour livestream event, and we are doing it in support of Direct Relief, which is a charity organization that helps people in crises all around the world. They've helped with disaster relief. They're currently helping in the situation in Ukraine, so just kind of generally where there's people that need help, Direct Relief is there to kind of pitch in. 100% of all of the donations that are sent in will go straight to Direct Relief. We aren't taking a cut of anything whatsoever, so your money is all going towards that cause. And we currently don't have any stretch donation goal, but generally we have one of those going. So if you're ever interested in doing that, you can always donate. If you don't want to donate or can't donate for any reason, you can always just try and just get the word out by sharing the stream on social media or on Discord. Which I guess is social media, but you know what I mean. And yeah, that is about it. Currently we are going through Klonoa, which we don't have any special donation goals for, but the next event in a few hours, or about an hour or so, will be Cuphead, where if you donate you will be able to change the person who's playing its loadout, which is a fun little twist on it. Yeah, that seems like the general gist of what's going on here. As I said, don't feel any pressure necessarily to donate. The stream is obviously available for free for a reason, and we'll just appreciate it if you stick around, watch, and then,
So we comment.
yeah.
Guess if Rain decides to do this again, are you willing to do it again?
Oh yeah, I'd totally be willing to do this again. It's fun.
Yeah, no, this has been fun. Yeah.
I would be interested in seeing if maybe during the winter we could do a smaller event. Maybe not do a full 72 hours, but maybe just a 24-hour live stream.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be interesting. I don't know. We'll have to chat with him about it. But we have a lot of the assets and stuff done up, so it would be a lot less work to kind of coordinate another one of these, right?
Yeah, Yeah, it
And-
shouldn't be nearly as bad to coordinate, especially if it's only 24 hours.
You can always try and get, well, even for the next one, you can possibly try expanding, how many people are playing to better.
Yeah, and as we were talking a little bit about like the hat and time thing, it would be kind of fun if we maybe had one that was open to viewers as well.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be very chaotic.
Yeah, exactly.
That
We might
would
have a
be
player
fun.
limit on the thing, but yeah. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that we could potentially do to spice the event up a little bit. Both for ourselves and for the people joining in on Twitch.
So, yeah. Yeah, no, there's a lot of things we could do. And who knows, maybe someday we'll actually get really big.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm extremely happy with the performance of the stream so far.
Yeah, no.
I
Yeah.
think it's been I think it's completely blown out all of my expectations.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I am super thrilled. And I'm also, I don't want to say shocked, but just the sheer amount of like my friends that donated.
Yeah, no, it's been great, and we've got some like seriously generous donors as well. Also, I don't know
Yeah.
if you guessed this, but just as I was leaving to grab dinner, I was the one who did the Wario donation, which I thought was fun.
Of course.
When I don't want, I'm pretty sure I know who was the benefactor guy
Okay.
who.
You don't want to voice that just because.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you after the stream.
Yeah, fair enough. As I said to you, I know definitely that the person that made the Knowledge Fight reference was my friend who was watching at the time. I was kind of
Yes,
sad that he
and
joined
I-
a little bit after we did Titanfall 2 already, but it was fine. He still had a good time watching. I gotta say, I'm actually quite happy with how Klonoa's gone so far and how Titanfall 2 went. I wasn't expecting the night shift to have anyone, and so having an audience at all is great.
Yeah.
Especially since it's just a few people here, so we can kind of just showcase off a cool little game that maybe people hadn't played before or weren't super familiar with.
Yeah, of course. A very funny but also a very tragic piece of info is that in Japan and Korea alone, this version of Klonoa 1, this collection has sold more than the entire Klonoa franchise.
That's both good and bad.
Yeah,
It's good news because, like, yay, Klonoa's sold well, because that means there's interest in it, but it's also unfortunate because it's like, man, it's sad that it took this long for Klonoa to do this well. How many units has this collection sold, if you can remember?
again, this was only in Eastern
Oh, yeah,
places,
in
so
Korea and
places
Japan,
like
only
Korea
those
and
two.
Japan, and it sold over 800,000. For reference, the supposed amount of units sold for the Wii version in the US was 5,000.
5,000? Wow, that is...
To be fair, we don't have very good numbers, but we do know that it did not do well, or else we would have gotten a Wii version of 2.
Yeah, I imagine.
Oh, and we also have these suits. These suits are funny.
They just kind of remind me of the Lorax.
Yeah. Okay, are those things meant to be lapels or something, or are they or collars, or are they meant to be mustaches? Because they kind of look like both.
They're meant to be clothing.
Okay.
That's why I said Lorax.
Yeah, exactly. I just realized that when you said that. Whenever I think of the Lorax, I think of that that one meme now, which was "I'm the Lorax, I speak for the trees," and for some reason they're speaking Vietnamese.
Hmm.
didn't realize he had was in Nam.
The Lorax has been through some stuff.
Yeah.
I will say, the more and more that we go on with that hat on your head, the more and more that stare has just become a cursed thing for me.
Yeah.
It looked like a kind of cutesy funny thing at first, but now it's just this cold, dead, everlasting gaze.
Mhm. Also, I forgot to add the speed up function, which was not in the original.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah. It causes weird desyncs with the dialogue, though.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. It usually corrects itself within time, but it's
Oh, I
very
think I
weird.
forgot to shoot off the Klonoa tweet to announce that we were switching over to it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's whatever. 5-2. This is also gonna be a really long stage. The rest of the stage is gonna be a bit chunky. So hopefully
Funky.
I will have enough time. Because I have 40 minutes left? Should be enough. Oof.
Goodbye, Ben.
Oh. Well then, okay. You know, I just realized that the timer is actually blocking some of the dialogue in this game because the
Oh, yeah?
dialogue is center.
Oh.
That's kind of important. And I wish I noticed that even remotely earlier.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
The timer's blocked some other stuff on some other streams as well. It's just... It's the way things are.
Now we're into one of my favorite gimmicks. There's a day and night cycle in the stage.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. During night, enemies actually become ungrabbable and actually look like these things.
Oh. That's interesting. How long is the cycle? It looks like it's pretty quick.
It's about, I want to say, 20 seconds.
That's neat. Them bopping into each other's a really sweet little feature.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, the attention to detail so far in this game is really good.
Yeah. They did remove a little bit of the details that I really like from the PS1 version.
Oh yeah?
But yeah, but it's like some very small details, like some enemies that you see in the background in one of the stages actually look at you
Oh yeah?
while you're walking by. You know, actually like observing to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's usually stuff like that.
Okay.
It's nothing insanely big.
No, it's still unfortunate that it wasn't kept through, especially since it probably wouldn't have been too hard to do.
Yeah, but to be fair, if you're a fan of Klonoa, you take what you get
Yeah, exactly.
with the franchise.
This is not a complaint. This is merely a, wouldn't it be nice in a perfect world?
Yeah.
Man, that actually looked like it was a little bit of a tighter jump there.
Not
Not
that
insane, but like, you know,
Yeah.
you definitely had to kind of have it in mind what you were gonna be pressing before you went into it.
Yeah, don't talk to me about tight jumps until you see some of the stuff in later stages.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like, the last two stages, like, one of the things I love about this game is that the difficulty curve is, yes, right? Like, there's almost never a moment where it's like, it spikes or dips really in difficulty. It stays very consistent in that regard.
Well, yeah, it definitely seems like the complexity is ramped in a very natural way.
Yes, and also, I meant to go down here.
Also, I could be wrong, but we may or may not currently only have active mods in the chat, which is very cool.
That's definitely possible, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm surprised that
it's
we had anyone showing up for this. And
Yeah. That's how grave shifts,
it's called the
graveyard shifts tend to
shift for a
go.
reason. It's because the ghosts
Yeah.
are the only thing around.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing, given it's kind of hard for me to misuse my authority.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you heard or saw, but last night Ben accidentally timed out one of the most active people at the chat at the time.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I also saw some of the words that are permitted.
Okay, to be fair,
I am not going to ask about it. I
in
am just gonna.
context, they were referring to the thing. It was talking about the banana cream pie song from Donkey Kong Country.
That makes a lot more sense now, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it auto-modded them, so we allowed the comments through. Which shows up in the mod log as us doing certain things, but yeah.
I also saw that the channel itself was timed out.
Didn't we actually time ourselves at one point?
It was indeed timed out for, admittedly, I think like a second, but it was timed out.
I also really, really liked when Zach got Hooray to say the F word.
Yeah,
Oh, he did that in the dono?
he did, yeah. And Zach
Did
and
Horang
Horang
oblige?
just said it like, yeah, he said it without
He
thinking.
just read it without thinking.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And also we have another type of enemy. These little zoomers. Oh. They just
Also
fly
say-
towards you, that are a lot harder to grab in this version than in the PS1 version for seemingly no reason.
Although I will also say, I think, Zach went above and beyond in this stream.
Oh yeah, damn, Zach dumped a bunch of money.
100.
Yeah, wow. I think in Canadian money, I've dumped about $40 in so far as donos.
Well, whenever I get a job, I will
Oh!
Ooh.
I almost died there actually, oh my god.
Yeah. Mind you, 20 extra lives, so it's not like it would have been too big a deal.
Yeah, no. I'm not concerned about the amount of lives I have, I'm more concerned about the time I have.
Ah, yeah, good point, good point.
Oh, you're actually timed?
Well, we have the another event starting, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
right.
I just would rather not be late if possible.
Yeah, we've had some events run slightly over time, but generally we've stuck in the window really well. I think Harane's planning strategy has gone quite well.
Yeah.
Kudos to him for even getting all this,
I know,
Cool.
he has put a ton of work into this, and it's good that it's paid off as much as it has.
Yeah, no.
Also, as I
It's,
said, I think it's just been really fun to do so far.
Yeah, no, it's been fun too.
I've never really done live streaming stuff before, so
Neither
I'm
have
quite glad
I.
that he's done a lot of the work to make things really seamless, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of the Streamlabs stuff was all just set up, so it was just a matter of kind of getting my right inputs in and all that other stuff, and then, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's been a godsend for this in that regard.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely mad how much dedication and work he's put in. Also doing up all the assets and stuff, right? Like, holy cow.
Oh yeah, no, Zach Hurain is a very talented person as someone who's known him for...
Yeah, also doing the, what was it, the custom dono animation they did?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Oh. It's actually kind of funny. I didn't realize that he did a lot of art stuff until somewhat recently. Like, I knew he was doing art and stuff for his game, but I was kind of just assuming that that was partially, you know, him needing to do it thing rather than he likes doing it thing. But I think he was doing a drawing of Eggman the other day on stream. Not like this stream, but just like in a Discord call. And it was actually really cool.
Oh,
Yeah, no, he doesn't talk about his, like, artistry, but Zach definitely has, like, he's definitely a very talented person.
Yeah. Puts a lot of us to shame.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, in the PS1 version, I actually needed an enemy to go up here. However...
Ah, the little Yoshi flutter thing. You get a tiny
Yes.
bit more height when you do the flutter.
Yes, in the original, it gave you even less height, if you could believe it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was, like, barely noticeable.
Oh, actually, speaking of having a impact through artistic creation, especially online, I don't know how much you guys know or care about this, but I thought I might as well share. My dad recently, and by recently I mean today, realized that, so he was in a band when he was younger. It would have been back in the, I guess, like late 70s, early 80s. And he actually found one of the sides of a 12-inch single that they did online this afternoon, and it was quite neat to see.
Oh, wow!
Yeah. It was kind of funny because there was one review of it in the on the website he found it on, and he suspects that the review might have actually been done by one of his other bandmates because the name of the account was a reference to one of the other songs they did that wasn't on that album. Which I thought was a little funny thing. You know, just casually, maybe sneakily going on and reviewing your own music, maybe.
Cheeky.
Yeah. Especially doing it in a little bit of a way that probably no one else than the people in the band would have recognized.
Oh god, that guy looks... Oof.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, also, we're at the end of the stage, and the boss.
Oh, yippee.
And easily one of the more annoying bosses because of RNG.
You can say that this looks orangey for sure.
Yes.
Ba-dum-ts. I can't unsee that being Griffith now.
I hate Kat for that.
I know.
I hate her a lot for that.
But someone in chat earlier pointed out that the this particular villain looks a lot like a Griffith from Berserk in certain ways.
To watch it. I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, I've got actually one of the volumes of the manga on my shelf, but I just need to finish reading it. It's like one of the deluxe volumes, so it collects a bunch of the things together.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I'm a massive fan of Berserk, which makes me even more annoyed that I didn't notice it until Kat pointed it out.
Has the new chapters for them continuing it started yet, or no?
They have, yes. There's, I think like 3-4 chapters out now.
Have you checked them out yet?
I have, yes.
How do you feel?
They're pretty good. The art is still very high quality, just not as high quality because it's not literally an insane person going through pixel by pixel.
Yeah, exactly. Is that the reason why it took so long for new chapters to come out? Just like an obsessive perfectionist kind of mindset?
Very much that, because of Miura's art style just being a very extremely detailed art style that, and also just, in general, his health, assumedly, health issues was causing issues too.
Oh yeah, good point.
It's just how it is with, sadly, a lot of Japanese manga, where the health of the creators tend to decline as series go on.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it seems like a lot of those kinds of pop culture industries, there's a big incentive for people to kind of just disregard their personal health in order to make a product. You know,
Yeah,
there's the whole thing about games with crunch. There's obviously the kind of cultural joke about, like a Korean outsourcing animation studios being just overworked to absolute hell and back.
So very much true in Japan.
Yeah, it's true in
Oh,
Japan as
yeah.
well.
yeah, the work culture in Japan is something else.
It's like the United States, but worse.
Well, you know what? At least we don't have a word here for death by overwork.
We just call it death by overwork.
Oh, right.
It's
Well,
like,
I think
I don't
it's-
know if you guys have seen that, but there was like a tweet where someone says, oh my goodness, elephants are so advanced in their communication, they literally have a word for like, they literally have a way of saying like, oh, there's bees over here, don't come here. And someone just replied in the comments like, yeah, people have a way too. It's by saying, yeah, there are bees over here, don't come over here.
Yeah, and here's the most annoying part of this boss fight.
Oh yeah? Hey, it's nighttime.
It looks like a rejected plesiosaur.
I don't know what that is, but it feels true.
It's the long-necked, not dinosaur. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I need to look it up. Oh yeah, actually, speaking of people that make manga and deteriorating health, didn't the person that made Yu-Gi-Oh! Pass away recently?
Yes.
Yes, however, he was done making manga years ago. Like,
yes.
he actually died of a supposed snorkeling accident.
Oh, wow.
Yes, where he drowned. Although there's a possibility where murder has not been ruled out, sadly.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, that's
Yes.
grim.
Yeah, no, it's very tragic. And it came as a shock to a lot of people.
I will say, whenever I hear
included.
about accidents to do with water, I always think of the story of the wasn't it like an Australian prime minister who went out
Steve
swimming
Irwin.
one day and then just disappeared.
Yeah, the Australian Prime Minister just literally went for a swim and disappeared. No one knows what happened to him.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
there's some pretty reasonable guesses, but yeah, no confirmed
Well,
answers.
very reasonable, yes, but like,
Well, it also reminds me of, I think they were American, but they were, visiting Australia, and the tour boat that they were on left, but they didn't realize that they weren't on the boat.
Oh,
Do you remember the movie Open Water?
no.
Well, that was directly based off of them.
Ah, interesting. So when you were saying the RNG in this boss fight is really rough, what were you talking about in particular?
Joker's walk patterns and his little fists that float around him. They're random.
Oh, yeah, because you need to try and get through them to get to the,
Yes.
hit him.
And the hitboxes for his hands, which block projectiles, are can be very deceptively big.
Yeah.
And also timing based on like how far you are away from him, and you
Yeah,
shoot
no,
him
you
from
need
the
to make
other
sure you
side
get
of the
angle
arena,
right, 'cause-
it won't hit him.
Yeah.
So you actually have to be closer too.
Man, yeah, there's a lot of variables you have to control for here. Or I guess try
Yes.
and work with.
It's oh. Also that clang noise is something else.
Oh, it is loud.
Yeah, no, this is like collection only thing.
Oh, does the PS1 version not have an issue with this?
Not really, which is very weird.
Yeah.
Don't you know the
Yeah.
PS1 is the more advanced system?
Yeah, clearly.
Obviously.
Also, these little guys, because they're ungrabbable, they're basically walls. And because of that, it's very annoying to get some tile because of it. And you just have to hope Joker just kills them. Oh, yeah, that was my turn.
So I think you should probably be very careful.
Man.
I think it's probably 1 or 2 more hits to finish this off, so let's just hope. Is this the final boss, or is there more after this?
Oh no, this is a world 5 boss. There's still one more world.
Oh, okay.
And Gaudius.
I was just curious, because Joker was generally positioned as either the main antagonist, or effectively the main antagonist.
Just yeah, he's just an henchman thing.
Okay. He shows up a lot more than the other one, though.
Yeah.
At least it doesn't have that issue that a lot of other games have, where it has that kind of antagonist that focus on for the most of the game, and then the big bad just shows up at the very end. They kind of tease the big bad all the way through this one.
Yeah. There is something similar to that here, but it makes sense why.
Yeah, exactly. It's treated a lot more delicately than certain other games.
I think the worst example I can think of is Uncharted 1.
Uncharted 1 was so funny with that.
No, it was funny with that, yes, but
It wasn't good,
yes.
it was terrible. Uncharted 1 is a miserable game to play through, and the story is not terrible,
I would.
but...
Okay, if you're playing it on the PS3 version, yeah, it's kind of bad because it barely runs at 30. The general shooting and like feel of it is kind of bad.
Yeah, one thing I noticed
The
is...
PS4 version is a lot better though in that regard.
Still not good.
No, it's definitely not. But like, if you have to play it,
Yeah, no, definitely the
Definitely
PS4
that
is the
one.
way to play. I remember I played the PS3 version ages and ages ago, and one thing I always noticed was whenever I aimed out of cover, I felt like I had no idea where I was aiming.
Yep.
But I didn't have that issue in the PS4 version. And it's kind of funny, because Uncharted 2, I never had that issue with on the PS3, but for some reason the first game just...
Yeah, because generally the PS4 versions will just, I think, just take a lot from the gunplay of 2 and 3.
Yeah. Mind you, it's interesting, even between 2 and 3 on the collection, 3 still played very differently in terms of feel.
Oh no, they definitely put in their own improvements and stuff, but like, you know, there's a basis to where a lot of it came from.
Yeah. I generally didn't like 3 as much as 2, even just in the way it felt. I don't think it's a bad game, it's just 2. 2 is my favorite.
Well, I'd even say there are things I preferred about the first one.
There are things you could prefer about the first one? Ben, you absolute psycho.
Yeah, also,
Well-
the Moon Kingdom!
Oh, because you went to the Sun Kingdom and then the Moon Kingdom. Okay, I'm just gonna say, this is feeling very Milky Way wishes.
Ugh.
Just saying. You know, you have Joker and Marx being a parallel, you have the Sun and Moon Kingdom with, like, the mechanical thing to it, right? Like the big clock.
What even is Gotti supposed to be then? Unless you're telling me that Griffith appears in Milky Way Wishes.
Yeah, no, Griffith from Berserk is actually the secret final boss in Milky Way Wishes.
Oh, okay, in the True Arena, yes.
Yeah, the True Arena, yeah.
Wow, the Moon Kingdom looks actually really nice with this filter.
Yeah, no. It does a really good job of, looking like PSX type thing.
Yeah.
I will say, playing through this game, and seeing kind of a lot of parallels to Kirby, at least in my mind, Klonoa and Smash would be really cool.
Yes. That is definitely something I see a lot. It would be very cool. His gimmicks are very interesting.
Well, not only
And I
that, but
really
also
like-
I feel as if a lot of the other elements of the franchise would fit really well into things like assist trophies and stages and other stuff like that.
Oh no, definitely. And also, music of the games are very, very good.
Oh yeah, getting
And this
some,
track here specifically is one of my favorites.
getting some redone tracks would be really cool as well, yeah.
Yeah, no. The music, I think, was either redone or remastered for this game.
Oh yeah?
I could be wrong, of course, because the PS1 version did have stereo. It did have stereo,
Oh wow, that's nice.
which you can't say for even some PS2 games, like the original Ratchet and Clank.
That was mono?
Yeah, it was mono. Oh, God.
I do
Oh,
always
the
like
voice
it when
crack.
games have a little sound that they play when you change the option.
Yeah. The Moon Kingdom also has one of my favorite aesthetics too in the game.
Yeah, I always really like the kind of crystalline cosmic observatory kind of vibe.
Yes,
It just
and the
really
Moon
plays into
Kingdom
that.
is almost all that actually.
Yeah, yeah. I think I don't remember if it was the space ship in Kid Icarus, but some of the space stuff in Kid Icarus Uprising has a similar-ish look to it.
Yeah, I remember a lot of those stages. They looked very nice.
Yeah.
I miss Kid Icarus God.
I know.
Ooh!
Uprising is one of my favorite games. Oh man, I see what you mean about the game ramping up in difficulty.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even say even ramped up. That was just me messing up bad there because I just.
Well, even still, you know, you gotta manage quite a few different things though, which is a bit different. Let's just put it this way, the first level definitely wouldn't offer you this kind of challenge. Oh, so I see what's supposed to do. You're supposed to grab them and then jump off them into the... Ah, okay. That's clever.
Oh my god, please!
Please stop locking me into the corner, I just want to leave.
Please! Oh my god!
You remember when I died in the big parade?
Mm.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I'll say, I think one thing that I'm also really enjoying about having a longer stream event that we're going through is that we've kind of built up a little bit of, I don't want to quite say a storyline, but you know, there's a little catalog of memorable events in the back of my mind that I'm kind of taken back
Yeah.
to. Like on the first day, I don't know if you were there, but Harain was grinding up a bunch of rupees in the 64 randomizer because he wanted to try and buy one of the beans in the shop, and it turns out it was
Yes.
actually a frozen trap. So he spent
Oh.
200 rupees on a freeze trap in a shop when he needed the magic beans, which is really
That-
funny.
Tragic. Jesus.
Oh, yeah, I know, it was agonizing to watch, but it was a great moment.
Oh no, I'm sure, but Jesus.
No, he was absolutely distraught.
Oh, that looked really off. Ooh.
Okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Yep.
You
Yep.
better run.
What? Oh yes, yes, I remember now. I'm stupid. Yes, I think I remember where I have to go now. Yes. Yes.
So I just checked Twitter while I went to the bathroom, and I learned that apparently Dead by Daylight is having a crossover with Attack on Titan.
Yes.
What?
What?
Huh? What? What?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's a thing. I think the armored titan is specifically the killer too.
Yeah, that seemed like what the teaser was doing. So that's gonna be a thing, I guess. Which is cool, I guess.
You know what I just found out that is really, really annoying?
No.
Really stupid? So, with regards to Attack on Titan, because me and Red have been watching it,
Yes.
and so we waited until the site that we were watching it on had what we thought was all the episodes. But then it turns out, oh yeah, there's gonna be a part 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the final part, guys. I swear.
Guys, I swear, for real this time.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, man, why don't people get through the manga at that point? Good lord. Like, obviously there are reasons why people watch the anime instead, but you know what I mean.
So I prefer English dub.
I prefer not watching Attack on Titan.
I read Attack on Titan, and the ending was something.
And I think that's all we want to get into on the stream right now.
Yeah, of course. I'm not gonna say much or go into like any rants about it.
Yeah.
Because
one
that's
thing
neither here nor there.
One thing I will say that I do find strange yet also amusing, at least with the English dub, is that the guy who voices Eren was apparently at one point a professional GoldenEye player,
Oh, that's cool.
which I didn't even know was a thing.
Neither do
No,
I,
I'm not
but
surprised
that's
with
cool.
that at all. Oh, we actually have a new mechanic here.
Oh,
Platforms that disappear once you land on them. They will get a lot of uses out of this for this stage.
Just because it's been a little while since I mentioned it, I think I might just do that little spiel about what the stream's about. Obviously, we're playing Klonoa, but the stream that we're on is the Dawn of a New Day stream, which is part of a charity livestream event that we're doing to raise money for the charity Direct Relief, which is a charity that helps people out in crises. So they've helped with disaster relief, they've helped with humanitarian crises. Recently, they've been offering assistance to people in Ukraine with the situation going on there. Obviously, no pressure to donate if you don't want to. Please just enjoy the stream if you wish, but also it would be a great help if you could share it around if you wanted, just to get the word out there a little bit. Yeah, that's generally the spiel. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming in who's here right now. It's obviously pretty late at night for a lot of people, and maybe you're in a different time zone to us, but it's definitely appreciated for people to come around and join in during the nighttime.
Yeah.
Oh man, you really saved that one.
Yeah, no, again, things get a little tricky here.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that there's kind of a Doom-like monster closets occasionally where a bunch of enemies just show up.
Yeah.
I really do like this kind of hole of corridors area. Oh man, tongue twister. Where there's all of the different kind of entrances and exits on the inside of this tower. It looks really good with this pixel filter on.
Yeah, no, and it looks very nice actually. And there was like actually a little glitter effect as you walked by when you're on the outside perimeter
Oh yeah.
in the PS1 version, but not really much here sadly.
It's very faint, but I think there is a slight glimmer, or maybe it's just part of the distortion of the pixels.
That's possible, yeah. But in the PS1 version, it was definitely much more noticeable.
Yeah.
And this is the first stage, and
Nice.
we're almost at 4:30. Ooh,
Ooh.
yeah.
I guess we
Also
can go as
think-
far as we can, and then we'll see when AKG shows up.
Yeah, well I think once IKG shows up and or you beat this, I'm gonna hit the hay.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip the jingle for that one because we are gonna heal the full jingle after this stage.
Wonderful.
And I'm just gonna do this.
I really do love the trope of whimsical fantasy fun adventure turning into like a big cosmic thing with these absolute deific states where you need to ascend to a high level of reality in order to confront the final boss.
Especially when you have someone like Gaudius who is looking very interesting.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely something that Kirby does consistently, but I like it in other stuff too.
Yeah, they do something very similar to that in this game too.
Yeah.
I won't spoil it exactly, but it's pretty cool. Also, here, Calf's story.
Okay, I'm sorry, but the fact it looks like he's wearing a mocap suit is really funny.
Yeah, but please know that he looked so much worse in the Wii version.
Oh yeah?
His face is the definition of Uncanny Valley. Like here, he actually kind of looks kind of cute, kind of chibi,
Oh yeah, definitely.
and then you look at his Wii version, and it's
Oh god.
yeah.
I think the Wii version is interesting.
Yeah, there's a reason why not a lot of Klonoa fans really like the Wii version.
I can understand that.
Yeah. Lafitte, the singer that, as they just mentioned, is in the giant egg that you saw right at the end of the stage. Also looked very interesting in the Wii version.
I just see someone made a Reddit comment that just said a Teletubby underneath a picture of the Wii version one.
Yeah.
Oh. There is a moth flying around in front of me.
Also, I don't know why that there was a game I really should have gotten. For the emulator. So that I can show people because it is hysterically bad.
Oh yeah?
I don't know if I've ever mentioned Fugitive Hunter.
I think you might have mentioned it once or twice, but it's been quite a while.
It came out like right after, like not long after 9/11. It's a first-person shooter combined with a really awful fighting game.
Interesting.
Yeah. Also, to
And
give
the
you an
final
idea.
boss is Osama bin Laden.
Oh, I know what game you're talking about. Yeah. Anyways, what was I going to say? Yeah.
I have
As
it
you
on
can see,
PS2.
the platforming in this stage has definitely cranked it up a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh. No,
Yeah, no,
we were so close to
I
saving.
overcorrected myself. Something I will also mention is that the collection controls are a little slipperier than the PS1 version.
Yeah. Are you using a joystick for this?
No, I'm actually using the D-pad on my.
Oh,
I'm
my
actually
goodness,
using
that was close.
yeah, no. I'm using the D-pad on my Xbox controller.
Which Xbox controller?
Is it an Xbox One or is it a 360?
One of the custom controllers that you could buy with like the custom color paint.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So it is an Xbox One then, right? Or at least more reminiscent of the Xbox One?
It's the Series X Xbox One controllers are
Series X,
basically the same. Just yeah, it's pretty much that.
It just has a better D-pad.
Honestly, I kind of forgot the Series exists. The Series X existed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, new enemy type. Boomerang. Boomerang.
So that Series X control looks like it'd be probably interesting use of the D-pad.
Love the D-pad on that.
If I'm not mistaken, that is one Mr. IKG.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh my god, it's 4:30 a.m.
It sure is 4:30 a.m. How are you doing? Well, I guess it's 2:30. No, it's 1:30. Not even 2:30 for me.
I did not get much sleep last night, but here we are.
Here you are. It's
Sherry.
time to do Cuphead.
Boy, I'm planning on getting some sleep. Wait. Well, I
Yeah.
was gonna.
I'm
I guess I'll wait
sorry.
until after my game downloads.
I am a little late, but I am ready to go. So, is Klonoa wrapped up?
We are taking a little bit longer. I'm not too sure how long it would take to fully make it to the end of the game, though. So we might just cut this short.
Yeah, it probably will take another 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. So I think we
Hmm.
might just want to call it there on Klonoa.
I'm fine with that, yeah.
Alright.
If that's okay, because Cuphead's window is actually a little tight.
No, I understand, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how about we just
Especially with
switch-
my ability to play it at this time. in the
Yeah,
morning.
exactly. So thanks everyone for dropping by. We are going to swap over
Yeah.
to the intermission screen, and we will get all the stuff ready for Cuphead, so you can enjoy that real soon.
Yeah,
Thanks
it's
everyone
unfortunate,
for,
because the ending of Klonoa is very great, but also I understand that we are on a schedule here.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for stopping by with us, and we'll be back shortly with Cuphead.